the longest time, there was a rumor of what was called an elephant graveyard. It was a rumor in the cities of these places where alcoholics go to die. So how it's set up is you've lost your family, you've lost your job, you're homeless, and you're like, I just want to end it. And I want to end it doing what I love most, drinking. So you go to this building, and it's just looks like a storefront with like the shutter down, but you know the secret knock, you know the way to get in there because other bums have talked about it. You go in there, and you're such a bad alcoholic at this point, you can't even hold anything in your hands. You have the shakes incredibly bad. And what they do is they give you a bucket of 95% alcohol and water it to the taste, basically, to what you can handle. And since you can't hold a cup, you get a ladle. And you just dip it in and pour it into your mouth. You go into a room, and they lock the door. And you drink yourself to death. You have the option. There's also communal rooms where other people are all sitting in there, and everyone's kind of drinking and talking. The rooms are pitch black. And you sit there in the dark, and you drink until your liver and your kidney stops functioning. Now, this was a rumor going around in Bolivia. And it was something that people were like, that's not true. That is like an urban legend. There's no such thing as an elephant graveyard. There was an author who wrote a book about it. And people were like, it was a fictional book, but it was called The Elephant Cemeteries. It was by Victor Hugo Vizcarra. And people thought, oh, that's fake. That's not true. Why are you giving our city such a bad name? That's not true. And eventually in 2014, did a report on it and had footage of the actual elephant graveyards, of the people doing this. And at that point, the police, because for the longest time, the story was getting covered up and people were denying that it existed. It was no one in the underclass, but in the middle class and the upper class, they were just denied it. They said it didn't happen. And so eventually the cops, when they were confronted, the cops said, yes, we know there are elephant graveyards. And we have a special team dedicated to shutting them down, and we've been doing this for a while. It's just not something that we thought that everyone needed to know about. Talk about a subculture. It is a place where it's a subculture for alcoholics, like hardcore alcoholics, when you have nothing, and you're ready to kill yourself drinking. Now, I've read a couple articles about this, and what's interesting is I couldn't figure out how the elephant graveyard operators got paid, because it is illegal. And what would happen is they would shut one down, the cops would shut one down, and another one would pop up in the city. So, did they do it as some sort of humanitarian thing? And that was the thing in the article. They were saying that the police don't not saying this on the record, but basically they go, listen, these people are homeless and they're going to die anyways. They can die on the street and be a problem, or they can go and die in a room. I mean, it's just they don't have their families abandon them. Their jobs abandon them, they have nothing. They're going to die anyways. So that's kind of like they shut down the elephant graveyards, but at the same time, they're like, these places, they do serve some sort of purpose, as cruel as it is. Hitting rock bottom is rough. But hitting, basically to hit rock bottom and say, yeah, I'm just going to keep on going. That's insane. And the elephant graveyards, too, like I said, they lock you in the dark room with the alcohol. If you knock on the door, they let you out. It's not like some Saw torture room where they're like, have a funnel in your mouth and you have to drink all of that in 30 seconds or your bomb in your stomach's going to blow up. It's nothing like that. They'll let you out, but then you're back and you're homeless again. So, yeah, crazy, and you wonder that this story was covered up for the longest time and everyone denied it. You wonder what other subcultures are out there. What other bizarro subculture groups are out there that are operating that some people know about and law enforcement may or may not know about, but the majority of society doesn't know about it, or if they do hear whispers about it, they completely disregard it. And I'm not saying stuff like reptilians taking over the planet, but just like real conspiracy theories, real groups, real subcultures that are just kind of floating around. And again, that's always fascinating to me. We're going to do a couple more stories, not today, but I have a couple more subcultures I want to talk about that are, they're just happening right next to us. Right, it's weird. The other story I wanted to talk about today happened in Syria. And I thought this story was pretty cool. So yeah, that's the thing. Elephant graveyards, it's just a crazy subculture that's out there. Imagine going into a pitch black room. Imagine being such a slave to your addiction. You walk into a pitch black room with a bucket of alcohol and some water. You pour it in a ladle and you drink yourself to death. Now, here's my question to you. I know we don't want to imagine ourselves in those type of situations, but let's say that you are at rock bottom with your addiction and you go to an elephant graveyard. You knock on the door. They let you in. This is the end for you. You've said goodbye to your family. They're not really talking to you, but you leave them a letter. You walk in there, your hands shaking. They give you the bucket. They give you the ladle. You go into the pitch black room and they lock that door. How long do you think it would be before you started masturbating? Because, again, I think it would be very quick for me. I think it would be about 5 minutes because, sure, now I have something to do. As opposed to the cave, I had nothing to do. Here, I can drink. But that would probably... Well, that would be difficult because if I was super drunk, I wonder if hardcore alcoholics can actually, get it up. That's interesting. I know there's that term whiskey dick. Yeah. Ooh, that would be terrible. You're trapped and you can't masturbate. That would be the worst, actually. That was a clip from our daily podcast, Dead Rabbit Radio. Dead Rabbit Radio is available anywhere that you listen to podcasts. It's daily paranormal, conspiracy, and true crime news. If you want to hear the full episode that this clip came from, check the link below. Please like and subscribe. And hit that little bell, too. That does some magical stuff. Thanks, guys.